It's Tuesday, which means it's time to talk about how you can lose all that extra weight you've been carrying around. Charles D'Angelo is here with some advice, and you say one person can make a huge difference in your life.
A world of difference, yeah. I had the fortunate experience of having a woman named Miss Valerie White, who at 72 years old invited me into her life. I was just a bullied, obese little boy. There you see her there with me just recently. That I was walking the streets in the city looking to make enough money to go to a movie theater to see a movie that weekend. She invited me in after shoveling her snow, which started a relationship that inspired not only my weight loss, but then my weight loss was transmuted into helping thousands of other people. And she just passed the 23rd of June, unfortunately, and it's probably the most significant loss I've ever had in my life, because my mom was very sick growing up and wasn't able to be around too much. She was struggling with some issues. And Miss White, although she wasn't biologically related, God placed her in my life at a time that was absolutely critical. And she taught me some really vital tools that I want to share with the viewers that I think that I'm definitely probably speaking to someone right now that might feel that they're hopeless or they're desperate, like I felt at 16 years old. I felt like I was about to give up on my life because, frankly, I didn't have the resources around me. Nothing around me would give you the idea that I would end up dining with presidents. My dad owned a janitorial company. So now in many of the houses I dine in with clients and things, my dad would have bragged to me about cleaning those types of houses. Right. So many people need to understand that you can't look at where you are as where you're going to end up. In other words, just because of the place you're at right now is somewhere that might not be where you want to be, if you can leap into that space of faith, which is what Miss White always taught me, was if you look at what you could be and work to become that by consistently applying moral, good principles, treating other people like you want to be treated, having faith in God. You know, and I'm not here to preach to people, but I'm here to say that obviously, whether you want to call it Allah, Buddha, Muhammad, higher power, the universe, whatever, that there's something divinely guiding all of us, and that I was fortunate enough to step into that. And despite all the evidence to the contrary, my life unfolded because of that faith. And I think that that was one thing she taught me, and another thing she taught me that people could apply today is really start from a place of gratitude. This was a 72-year-old woman who was widowed as a child, widowed middle age. As a child, her dad contracted tuberculosis, her mom had strokes, she had to quit school in 7th grade, and her wisdom so far surpassed her education. So wisdom's a gift from God, and if you listen to that inner voice, as you and I were talking about prior to the segment, that's guiding your life, that's trying to push you in a direction, and you know who you are sitting at home, whether or not you're living up to your standard. And I think that's ultimately what Miss White taught me, was that the only difference in people is really a difference in the level of expectation they have on themselves, in the standard that they're living by, and that starting from a place of gratitude, despite whatever you've been through, knowing that the winds of life blow on all of us, knowing that whatever turbulent time or storm you might be going through, that this too shall pass. Maybe you lost a loved one like I just did, or maybe you're out of work right now, or maybe you've been overweight, 200 pounds, 300 pounds overweight all of your life, and you're on all these medications. You need to remember that there's a bigger plan at work for you, and that if you're willing to step into that gap of, look, I'm going to surrender this over, I'm going to step into letting God lead my life and really put into place some things that are fundamental. You know, eating right and exercising isn't that difficult. It's just being consistent that really gets challenging. And Miss White was both a contributing factor to me losing all the weight and a contributing factor to me being so
She made you like the brownies and cookies, didn't she?
Oh yeah, because she was just she was very maternal to me, and we grew up very poor, so she would take us. She brought us to, me and my brother and sister, to J.C. Penney's and bought us all nice clothing because we didn't have that at the time, and would take us to like the Ritz-Carlton and sit in the lobby just to expose us to the other side of life. So all I'm wanting people to take from today's message is this, is that know that God's working in your life, and that no matter what you're going through right now, be grateful for what you do have. And if you're housebound because of your weight or if you're on medications, if you look at where you have to be grateful for and start there and ask God to really step in and start to lead you in the right direction, you'll be amazed at the miraculous things that will unfold.
Well, great advice. And if you would like Charles's help, visit charlesdangelo.com for more info. Or you can call 314-495-3228. Great advice. Thanks, Charles.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's been an interesting journey, hasn't it?
It has, and who knows what God has planned, huh?